Alright, check this out. You guys are back on the Hater World, and I'm Blue Devil. What we have going on today is a video of George Lopez versus Ralph Barbosa. But before we get into that video, if you guys are new to the Hater World, make sure you go over, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, like the video, and most importantly, leave me a comment down below and let me know if you guys like what I'm doing or whether you don't. And salute to all the subscribers. You guys already know, nothing but love. But check this out. I don't get too much into politics. I don't get too much into like controversial subjects. But here we got George Lopez down talking on a young Mexican brother that goes by the name of Ralph Barbosa. This video was sent to my Instagram at TheHaterWorld. So if you don't follow me, make sure you do so. Also hit me up on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook at TheHaterWorld. And all business inquiries, TheHaterWorld@gmail.com. Now check this out. I don't want to do this video. I still don't want to do it because this is a touchy situation, a touchy subject. A lot of people get in their feelings, but I'm going to just speak it the way that I see it, whether you like it or not. Alright? So with no further ado, let's get you guys a Southsider's reaction. Let's go.
Fast, bro.
He is tired of me.
But it is, you know, for me, I thought to myself, I will never be able to do what this man does as good as him. It's impossible. I was born in fucking 78. He's walking on stage in 78.
Yeah.
How the fuck am I going to catch up to this guy?
But I think maybe I wasn't always the most helpful individual back then. But what I have done is I've left a template on how to do shit. And then it's somebody's duty to go and do it.
Exactly.
Check it out. What he's talking about is because a lot of people discriminate against George Lopez, saying that he don't help out his people. He don't help out the raza, the Latinos, the Hispanic, the Calimac. So he's saying he left a blueprint. It is your job to find it and follow it through, right? He says that maybe back in those days he wasn't helpful, in which people still say that he's not helpful today still. All right, but he's saying he left a blueprint. It's your job to find it, alter it a little bit, right? You always got to alter it a little bit. Because of the times change, alter it a little bit, and kick the door in. That's exactly what he's saying. But let's go.
Correct. And
Exactly.
that's the legacy. Is I left the legacy for guys to follow the fucking crumbs that the path that was there.
You crack the door, it's our job to kick it open.
Go get it.
Don't blame me for what.
Check it out. A lot of people are too fucking lazy to do that, though. You know, a lot of people just want the handout. A lot of people want you to help them and carry them through the door, right? I say, this is what I say, right? I say, first of all, you were born alone, you're going to die alone, right? That means that you have to wander this earth alone. Now, you might make some friends along the way. You might meet some people along the way. But those people and those friends don't owe you a goddamn thing. Okay, they don't owe you anything and you don't owe them anything. That's what I say to that part, right? But a lot of people nowadays, they want you to carry them through the finish line. They want you to fucking hold their hand all the way through. And that's not possible. That is impossible. You know, like they say, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. There's so many fucking sayings out there. There's so many sayings out there that are fucking very true. Okay? But let's keep listening to see what else he got to say.
He didn't give me. Get up off your ass and do it.
Well, I've
You know,
changed.
it's that simple. You had to do it without somebody leading you.
That's the only thing I don't like, right? Oh, well, nobody helped me, so why should I help anybody? That's one thing I don't like, right? Because that to me sounds like an old ass man or one of those homies that never had anything in the hood, and the little bit that they do have, they fucking, you know, they cover that shit and make sure nobody can touch, right? Because they're the type of people that are like, oh, well, nobody gave me shit, I had to do it on myself, so you gotta do it yourself. You know, and I understand what they're saying, but at the same time, it's like, throw me a crumb, my boy. You know, give me a starter pack. You know, throw my name out there. Just do a little something to kick it off. You know, help me just that little bit so I can elevate. Right? It's like a helping hand. Everybody needs it sometimes. Everybody needs a helping hand, Everybody needs a little push. Not everyone deserves it, but everybody needs it, right? But that's the only thing I don't like is motherfuckers that are like, back in my day, coulda, shoulda, woulda. We used to do this. Times change. It's not like that no more, right? So that's the only part that I don't agree with. Let's go.
And now it's
but it is up to us to the Ralph Barbosas of the world to turn around and go, hey man, I want to make the path for you easy.
But nobody knows who that motherfucker is. What are you saying his name, man?
Look, I think he's great, and I'm doing.
This is the part that everybody is crying about, llorando, okay, crying. Let's rewind it. Let's play it through, and I'll give you my Southsider reaction.
The legacy for guys to follow the fucking crumbs that the path that was there.
We cracked the door. It's our job to kick it open.
Go get it.
Don't blame me for what he didn't give me. Get up off your ass and do it.
Well, I've changed.
It's that simple. You had to do it without somebody leading you. And now it's
but it is up to us to the Ralph Barbosas of the world to turn around and go, hey man, I want to make the path for you easy.
But nobody knows who that motherfucker is. What are you saying his name, man?
Look, I think he's great, and I'm doing it
wrong to say that?
I'm doing exactly what I'm preaching is.
What do you mean you don't
can we bring this kid up? Right?
Have you heard of him? Okay, but is it wrong for me to say why do you keep bringing his name up and nobody knows who he is?
It's funny to me.
Check it out. Ralph Barbosa. I've been seeing him on my shorts come up, which is like on YouTube shorts. I never knew his name. I just saw some young Mexican guy saying some funny shit, right? I think we all have. George Lopez said, don't give him no free clout. That's what he said. Okay. He said, why are you mentioning that guy? We don't even know who that guy is, right? And everybody got their panties in a bunch over this statement, saying, well, George Lopez don't want to help the people. He's downplaying the homie. He's disrespecting the culture, blah, 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 blah. Listen, that's why I say I leave politics and shit like this for platforms that love doing this. And I'll mention one, American Cholo. He loves to talk about this type of shit. Here at the Hater World, we like to have a good laugh. We like to clown. We like to watch some funny reaction videos, some serious gangster ones. And that's it. But this type of shit is the type of shit that people get in the uproar over. And that's the type of energy that I don't want here, right? But I still feel that I got to speak up on it from a Southsider's perspective. Listen. And the reason I have to speak up on it is because I've seen other Southsiders talk about it, including Chicano rappers. And you guys know that's a genre that we talk a lot about here. Now, George Lopez said, why are you even bringing that guy up? Let's not give him no free clout. We don't know who the fuck he is, okay? I've seen Chicano rappers be mad and angry and make posts on Instagram talking about George Lopez ain't for the people, blah, blah, blah. The same Chicano rappers that go on interviews, big interview platforms like NOJUMPER, etc., etc., other podcasts, right? And that's just naming one. And they asked these Chicano rappers about previous interactions with other rappers they've been in contact with, and they say nothing. They don't mention the names. They say next question. They don't want to give the homies no shine. But yet here they are criticizing George Lopez. How can you go to a podcast and they ask you, so what label were you signed to 10 years ago? And you say, oh, I don't know. I don't want to talk about that. Why don't you say the homie's name? Why don't you give the homie some shine? Why don't you give the homie some free clout? Oh, because you don't deserve it? Oh, because you're on a bigger platform than he is? Oh, because you're on a big ass you're getting the shine right now and you're moving the units, but he's no longer in the limelight, so you don't want to throw him some free tokens? But you expect George Lopez to do it? You expect George Lopez to do what you don't want to do? Two-faced cocksuckers, if you ask me. And there's many of them, plenty of them. Not just one, a lot of motherfuckers. How many Chicano rappers, how many homies, how many, just not even in the Chicano genre or box, black community, white community, do motherfuckers go up on stage or on a big platform and they get asked about something in their past and they say, oh, I don't want to talk about it? Or they get asked about, somebody they're dealing with. Oh, I don't want to give them no free clout. Come on now. Everyone does that shit. Everyone. Not just George Lopez. Everyone does that. I've done it. They've asked me about people and I don't know what the fuck that is. Because this is my time. I'm here for me. I'm doing this for me and my family. The way you should be doing it for you and yours. Now, we can agree that George Lopez already made it to a level of success where he doesn't need more money, even though we all want more money. But, he's at a level where he's wealthy, right? We can all agree on that. So, I guess you can say he should be helping people out. He should be, extending the olive branch to youngsters. But remember, it's two different things. Wanting to and having to. First, you don't have to do a goddamn thing for nobody. He earned that success himself by doing whatever he had to do to get there, right? So he don't have to do a goddamn thing. Now, does he want to? Obviously, he don't. So how can you blame a man for not doing something they don't want to do? So everybody watching right now, I'm gonna say this. Everybody, send me $20. Let me see if you motherfuckers want to send me $20. Obviously, you don't want to, right? So what the fuck is the difference? Now, I will tell you this. He did a big thing right here. By him mentioning Ralph Barbosa's name, he brought light to that young man's career. Now I'm doing a video about it. My boy AC's doing a video about it. All the other podcasters are talking about it. It's all over Instagram, YouTube, CNN, all that. It's everywhere. So he actually brought light to that young man's career. So even though motherfuckers be like, he don't do shit, he just did. Probably brought more light to his career by denying him than actually giving him a shout out in a good way. Because now people are going to look into it more because it's drama and drama sells. Now Ralph Barbosa can go up in the comedy things he does, right? The comedy stand shit, and talk about George Lopez. And people will go watch because they want to see him diss him. It's part of the game. That's the way it works. George Lopez actually threw him a pass. Now it's up to Ralph to see what he does with it. If he does nothing with it, then that's on him. Listen, it's Hollywood, right? In Hollywood, nobody owes you a thing. Everybody snakes you out. You're good 1 minute, and the next minute you're washed up. Understand it. And I'll put it to you even easier and even better, right? All right. All these people that are saying that the OGs should help the youngsters, right? But when the youngsters actually make it, do they help the OGs? You answer me that question. How many rap legends do we have out here that are broke? How many? I can name a gang of rap legends that are broke. And do any of these youngsters that are out here flossing millions with their chains and doing all this, are they helping the OGs? But you know what everybody says? You can't tell them how to spend their money. That's their money. You can't tell them what to do. They're going, the OGs had their time. So now you can't be mad at OG because he's trying to do his own thing. You feel me? But again, this is just what I think. Who the fuck am I? Nobody. I don't go into detail about politics. Go to my boy American Cholo's page. He does that all day. I'm just giving it to you guys the way I see it. And am I wrong? I probably am. Am I right? I probably am. I don't know. This is just the way that I feel from looking at it from my perspective. George Lopez don't owe nobody a goddamn thing. Now listen. You put in the hard work. You get up there on the level where you're near George Lopez and you reach out to him and he sees he acknowledges your potential. He acknowledges that you already moved up the ranks and you put in the full work. Then fuck it. Come on up here with me. Let's get it. But if you're still at the bottom and you haven't even worked your way up, but you want to be on that status, nah, my boy, you gotta crawl before you walk. You gotta crawl before you fucking walk. That's simple, you know. That's why it's called levels to this shit. That's why there's levels to this shit. George Lopez probably charges a fee. Why? Because he worked his way up already. Ain't nobody trying to work for free. But let's keep going.
And I don't mean to mean, I'm saying.
The man on the payroll.
No,
Hey, whatever you think, folks.
but you look out for yourself. That's what we look out for yourself.
But I also want to look out for others. And I also...
He said right there, you look out for yourself. You're supposed to. Don't they teach you put yourself first and everything else is, comes after? But you can't say George Lopez already looked out for himself. He's already there. Maybe he should start, reaching out. And that is true. But that is true. But the thing is that, like I said earlier, if George Lopez happened to go broke today, is Ralph Barbosa ready to help the OG? Would he want to help the OG? And if he decided not to help the OG, would he be crucified for not helping the OG? Listen, that's why you can't win. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. That's why if you look out for yourself, you ain't gotta ask nobody for shit. You don't gotta owe nobody shit. You ain't gotta hear shit from nobody. Because you're looking out for yourself. Now, if it's something you can easily do, like a shout out right here, then fuck it, I don't see no harm. But you can't expect George Lopez to do something that he don't want to fucking do.
Want to make the path
I don't
easier.
think that's a right. I don't think that's the right thing.
I look out for myself and my family, of course, but I also want to make the path easier for the next guy.
You know what? I think that's.
You don't think so?
I don't.
No, I really don't. You made the path. You've got to secure that path. You're not helping him if you're making the path easier for him. He's got to make his own path. He's got to make it right.
Ralph, I don't know who he is.
And I don't want to make him suffer, but you're not doing him anything by making it easier.
I disagree. I mean, you look at Richard Pryor, who championed Eddie Murphy, who, when Eddie Murphy walks into...
I don't think he did.
He did. And when Eddie Murphy walks into ABC and says, hey, that's fucking Earthquake, I think he's fucking great, he needs an opportunity, I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that that's a good look, and I think that it helps. You putting me on this show helps me.
Facts.
But also, if you don't deliver, I can't help you.
I don't disagree.
There he said it. He said, if I co-sign you and you're garbage, it makes me look bad. And now my career drops down a notch. And now I can't certify nobody else because you didn't deliver. It's sneaky. It's sneaky. People need to understand. Like, look. Imagine George Lopez brings this kid on and says, I'm a co-sign him. The kid is a fucking fail. The kid does no good. Now, whenever George Lopez does have another act that's real good, people are going to look at him and say, nah, bro, remember that last guy you had? Fuck that. We don't want it. So why put yourself in that predicament? Why do all those things, right? Listen, like I said, it goes both ways. You can look at it from George is hating, or you can look at it like he's covering his ass and making sure that his career can still be legendary at the end of the day. But Raza is always going to do what Raza does and is going to hate. But look, who am I? You want politics and shit like that? Go see American Cholo. You want to talk about some gangster shit? Then you come over here. We'll break it down for you. But other than that, I'm going to kill this video word lay and call it a day. I don't think George Lopez is wrong at all. I think he's making sure that he covers his own ass, because at the end of the day, is nobody going to look out for you if you don't look out for yourself, right? Is nobody going to come to you, save your day when you can't pay your rent. You got to do that shit yourself. And to all these Chicano rappers starting to be activists, look in the motherfucking mirror before you talk about another man. Look in the mirror before you criticize a legend. Look in the mirror before you open up that mascara to say some dumb shit. Because half you motherfuckers don't want to talk about nobody, give nobody free clout because you feel you on that level when you really not. You know? But it is what it is. Call me a hater. I don't give a fuck. This is The Hater World, and I'm Blue Devil. We out.